Welcome to my channel, Here to Motivate. This is Shora Bhattacharjee, and in today's video, I'm going to dig in deep on what is alcohol and what it does to our body. Now, it is of paramount importance for you to know what alcohol does to your body. See, you are going to quit alcohol, right? Now, you need to know what is alcohol. You need to know ins and out of what is alcohol, what it does to your body, how your body reacts to alcohol. You need to know each and every aspect, because if alcohol is your enemy, and that's why you're going to quit it, right? You want to quit alcohol because you're tired of it and you want to quit alcohol, right? So it is your enemy. You have to look alcohol as your enemy. Now, if you want to beat this, you have to know your enemy first. So you have to know ins and outs of your enemy, which is alcohol. So I'm going to touch upon this in today's video and share what it does to your body when we drink alcohol. Now, alcohol is an anesthetic and a depressant. Now, what is a depressant? It is something that will make you feel calm and help you with anxiety. Now, this is a medical fact. You can search it on Google or anywhere else and you would find that it is a depressant and it is sort of an anesthetic, right? Of course, it's a mild dosage, but it has the same effect, like same depressive effect. And if we are feeling tired or we are in pain, when we consume alcohol, it will take the edge off it. However, it is also a fact that our body and mind is not a passive object. It will react to the world around us and to the food or a drug that we put into our system. It will react to it. The brain has its own store of stimulants that it releases, and it will release them when we are in fear, hunger, stress, or if we are feeling euphoric. So there are different situations in which brain releases different sets of drugs or stimulants into our bloodstream, into our body. And if we regularly take a drug, the body and the brain will react to this and will even act to its expectation. Now, this is a very important point, and this is why we get addicted to different substance, which feels good. Like when we consume it, and if it feels good, the body will create a sort of behavior and releases different sets of hormone in expectation of this. I'm going to touch upon this later on this video, so please watch till the end. I'm going to use a very simple example to help you understand the point that I've discussed till now. As a child, when we woke up in the morning, our brain would release stimulants to make us feel awake and we are ready to start the day. As we grew older and we started to take tea or coffee in the morning, the first thing in the morning, our brain would not release stimulants right after we woke up, because now the brain is expecting you to take that caffeine. The tea or the coffee. Now, tea and coffee has this substance, caffeine, which is a drug, which is addictive, right? So everyone drinks tea or coffee, right? Now, if you are sort of addicted to your morning tea or morning cup of coffee, you would feel groggy or disoriented until you have your first cup of tea or the first cup of coffee, right? Whichever is your preference. So why we feel that way? Because our body will release stress hormones in expectation of the caffeine. And unless we imbibe the tea or the coffee, it will feel sort of groggy and we want to have the first cup of coffee, first cup of tea. And then once we have that, we feel more awake, more energized and ready to start the day. So, and of course, caffeine is of course a drug, but it is no way harmful like alcohol or any other drug. So of course you should continue with your tea or coffee. I'm not against it. I just wanted to use it to share an example. So what happens to our body when we drink alcohol? Our brain and the nervous system, which are particularly vulnerable to the depressive effects of alcohol, becomes more sensitive, so they can work under the influence of alcohol. Secondly, our body will be proficient at manufacturing and releasing stimulants and stress hormones to counteract the effect of alcohol. This is perfectly natural and healthy reaction to our body. Our body is trying to fight against the poisonous effects of the alcohol and try to help us survive, because alcohol is a poison. Why it is a poison, I will of course touch upon this later on my playlist, but you could just do a simple search, is alcohol a poison? And you would find numerous number of results on Google, and you would find why it is a poison. You might have heard this term that when we go to party, people ask, what's your poison, right? So it's a poison, and that's why people also know it. You also know it, in your subconscious, you know it that it is a poison. So of course it is a totally different topic of discussion, and I will keep it for another video. So the stronger and healthier the human body, the more it is proficient in kind of managing this poisonous effect of alcohol and survive it. And the unhealthier people will not survive its poisonous effect. So to sum it up, here is the cycle. When we started drinking, we were not capable of drinking as much as we do now. And whenever we had tried to increase the amount of alcohol we imbibed, we had to experience a lot of sick days. Remember the number of times you used to vomit in your earlier days after drinking heavily, and now you seem to manage it efficiently, like you become a pro. I felt that. I totally felt that. In my initial days, I used to vomit a lot after drinking heavily, and then after the years gone by, I become a sort of pro, and I felt very amazing that I'm not vomiting any longer and I could drink more. So I thought that I become something, like I become a man or something. So what you're essentially managing is the poisonous effect of the alcohol and nothing else. However, you are stuck in a vicious cycle. Now remember a vicious cycle that I discussed while discussing how you can quit smoking easily. You can watch them on my quitting smoking playlist. I'll paste the link on the I button. Now, what is this vicious cycle with alcohol? It is a different, of course it is a different. So this vicious cycle is all about managing your stress without even knowing it. So what happens to our body and brain when we drink alcohol? So it will release stress hormone to counter the depressive effect of alcohol. Now, what is, like, when we drink alcohol and when we get drunk, what is the feeling? Like, we feel tired, we feel sleepy, we don't want to move, we feel dizzy and all that, right? So this is the depressive effect of alcohol. Now when we first drink, we don't get to that mood right away, right? I'm talking about you being a pro right now. You're not a beginner, right? So you don't get dozed off right after the first drink. Why? Because your body is stimulating stress hormone. Now what is stress hormone? It will make you more active, make you more awake, and it is countering the depressive effect, right? Because you are taking the alcohol and you're taking this depressive effect, and your body is releasing in stress hormone in reaction to it, right? It is fighting with the depressive effect of alcohol. And at some point in time, our body it has limited resource. So of course it cannot release stress hormone all the time. So of course the natural resource would of course, since it is limited, it will no longer stimulant, it will no longer release stress hormone, and that time the depressive effect of alcohol will take effect and you would get drunk, and you would not want to have another drink when you are drunk, because the depressive effect has it has taken into effect. Now when your alcohol effect wears off, you will be left with all the stress that you had accumulated while you were drinking, and you would feel miserable the time the alcohol effect wears off. I would recommend you to please keep drinking if you're still drinking, and if you're not, if you want to drink, please do so, but try to see how you are feeling when the alcohol effect wears off. Do you feel good? One can never feel good, because that time is the most depressive time of any alcoholic's life, because you are only left with stress hormone after you're drinking, and you are bound to feel negative, you are bound to feel depressed, you're bound to feel all sort of negative emotions at that time. You get demotivated, you're not motivated, you're tired, you are miserable when the alcohol effect wears off. And it is not your fault, it is because of the stress hormone that it released while the time you were drinking, right? So all you are left with is stress, and you do not know how to deal with the stress. But by the time you are kind of become addictive, you sort of manage it, you sort of manage the stress. But it is not a good place to be. When the alcohol effect wears off, this is not a good place to be in. Try to understand its aspect, right? What alcohol does to your body and every aspect of it, and try to read through different online articles and different other videos, and of course watch my videos. And if you like my content, I would request you to please like this video, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and keep sharing so they know what is alcohol, and they also get benefited. So until next time, I see you guys